So did you do that thing where you made me Aramco and you made me Saudi? And not only did you make me Saudi, but you made me Shia, like what you tried to do at the beginning of 2016 when the family of the Shia cleric and him were executed, along with people accused of dealing drugs and other crimes. And you've persisted until this time of defaming Iran, as well as co conspiring to cover up what was being actually attempted for bringing to the fore with the political work of that person, whose name I'm not going to say because then it's as if you're going to connect the crypto in order to try to do what? Are you going to try to use it to effectuate some form of bombing and then blame it on who? The Houthi? Because why? You've got this incredibly anti Semitic relationship with East Africa. I mean, I've seen it for years, right? And this is what's going on. So, am I actually a Yemeni Jew that is in Saudi Arabia, maybe attempting to find some sort of gainful employment that was actually offered to women in Saudi Arabia by working with Saudi entities, up to and potentially including a job in aerospace or maybe a job in something connected to the gas and oil sector that wasn't merely about illicitly harvesting my bioenergy to be extracted and redistributed to other people without any sort of confirmation? Okay, if that's the case, you need to understand in Saudi Arabia, dealing drugs is a capital offense. And I know that. And I respect that. In Saudi Arabia, I would understand that kidnapping women, including married women if they're married, and then trying to force them to engage in acts of prostitution to deal drugs is a capital offense. And not just for the women. You understand? And that's what I understand. So if you thought you were going to play this game where you were going to make me Saudi so that then you could try to defame Saudi Arabia in any number of ways as some sort of just consideration for diverting or laundering assets connected to other interests, including ones you would allege are green, then you need to understand dealing drugs in Saudi Arabia is a capital offense. And I agree with them. I agree that dealing drugs, including and especially if you defraud and defame other people and entities in order to acquire those drugs, I agree. It should be a capital offense. It should additionally be a capital offense if, in the course of acquiring those drugs and distributing those drugs, you engage in acts of either literal or electronic child sex exploitation. See, personally, I've already made the argument too, by the way. Child sex exploitation should be a capital offense. I don't mince, barriers of considerations of egregiousness of the harm based upon how far into puberty she is hormonally when you do it. Or him. Child sex abuse should be considered a capital offense. But even if it's for whatever reason not yet, using the sexual exploitation of children, including in digital representation, to deal drugs in Saudi Arabia, I'm sure I could successfully argue a case for considering those capital offenses that are punishable by execution. And I'm going to let you know, I don't really have confirmation on what this composite is, but if I were Shia, I would agree. And even if it brought some sort of controversy in the community, I would agree it should be a capital offense. And if I was Jewish, and if I was an American woman that identified as being secular and or even historical materialist, I would agree. I'm sorry, it's the law of the land. But these were considerations that should have been taken into account when, as early as 2015, I go in there and I say, this is the literal explicit policy for where we are. Why are you pretending you're somewhere else?